to see if they can stop their dearth of no wins. Then we have the one that a lot of people are looking forward to, Eagle versus Pollsmor, the Clash of the Titans. Because for a lot of folks, one of the two of them are the favored to win this entire thing, but they're facing off for the first time, trying to break each other's lossless streak, so we'll see what's going to happen here. We start out the same way that we do a lot of things in this game, which is by mashing through text, because this game is a very wordy game. The computer is very chatty. And we also start out with one of the more impressive movement sections, this little climb here, with a sequence of wall jumps, and looks like, oh, Eagle drops it. That's a surprise. It's a little bit tighter than you think it is, because you have to actually have the bottom half of Samus's sprite touching the wall, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah, not only that, you have to be on the upper part of the thin platform in order to execute those wall jumps.
Most definitely. In this game, and that's actually pretty much sets the tone, because this game is actually a very movement-heavy game. Because there's no sequence breaking because of the draconic event system, most of the time saved you'll see from any of these runners is just very clean movement and taking advantage of the little things about the engine that let you move faster. For example, you might see that jumping is slower horizontally than running, so they're going to be wanting to run as much as possible. And so you're going to see them do things like shoot to come out of a somersault, which lets them land on the ground and start moving a few frames faster, and over the course of the run, that'll add up quite a bit.
Yeah, it might seem like a minor time save, but there are so many jumps, so many jumping on platforms in the game that it actually does get pretty significant. But I doubt that a race will be won because of it. I have seen worse, though. I've seen races won on faster text mashing. So it could very well be the case for Eagle versus Pollsmor.
The two of them are very close. The two of them are very close to each other near the top of the boards. So little things can really make or break that race.
Yeah, and Pollsmor with some platforming mistakes, allowing Eagle to catch up. Right now, all runners are pretty close to each other, but that's going to change very shortly.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. Scotty and Pollsmor are synced. That is... oh, wait. No, I thought they were. And now Eagle and JaySee are on the same text screen.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning, though, that even though this is technically JaySee versus Scotty and Eagle versus Pauls, it is kind of running as a four-way race in SRL. And we can't really discount Scotty, who, much like in the Zero Mission Tournament, kind of came in out of nowhere and has now suddenly within 2 minutes of world record. He's just been improving shockingly fast.
Yeah, and as you can see, Scotty is actually ahead of all the runners.
But that can change here very quickly, because one of the things that, as much as I love this game, one of the things that kind of gets my goat a bit is that there's a fair bit of RNG in it, and we're going to be running up on it here in a moment, which is, before you go into any boss room, you have to deal with a door. And, oh boy, eye doors.
Yeah, I heard rumor that whenever game developers are thinking about adding RNG elements in their games, they look at this game as reference.
I've heard that exact same rumor. I'm starting to think it might be true. Because let's talk for a moment about eye doors. You have to shoot them at this point in the game with 3 missiles. And when it opens its eye, you're either going to get a beam or you're going to get the weak point. And it can shoot up to 4 beams before it can reveal its weak point once. So in worst case scenario, you can get a double-digit eye beams, and no one wants to see that.
Yeah.
Scotty getting great eye door luck, though.
Both Scotty and Pollsmor getting the 1 beam. Eagle stuck with the looked like a 4 beam. JaySee having issues doing the double, but he was lucky enough to get 0 beams, so it's still pretty close. Unfortunately for
Getting the roll.
Scotty, he gets the roll, which costs him about 3 seconds, and a double roll. Very unfortunate. He'll fall back against Pollsmor. Again, Scotty is racing JC, so he is technically ahead in his race.
Pollsmor getting the perfect core X fight though, doing one of the most important tricks you'll be seeing throughout the core X fights of the game, which is the double missile. Which is that the core X, you can get 2 missiles into its hitbox when it's spawning, and then while it's moving around, it has a square hitbox. So you can actually get to fly at you at a certain angle. You can shoot 2 missiles vertically, and it'll fly into them at the same time. And you're going to be seeing our runners do that throughout the run as much as possible, because it can save seconds on every core fight.
So, as it stands right now, Pollsmor actually has a considerable lead against Eagle, simply because of the Idor. Pollsmor's 1 beam 0 roll Idor. I mean, Arachnus versus Eagle's 3 beam 1 roll. He is ahead by a lot, and it's gonna take a lot of bad RNG for Pollsmor if Eagle wants to catch up. Or, you know, there has been many deaths in certain Sector 2, and we'll keep an eye out for that.
Pollsmor did say he's definitely doing it, so that could definitely change the tide of that race. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, because we know Pollsmor's doing it, and we're not sure if Eagle's doing it.
So not only are Eagle and Pollsmor racing each other, they're also trash talking each other in the chat.
Which is about what we come to expect from these two, so it's okay.
Yeah,
this is business as usual.
It's very unusual that Eagle talks in chat while he's racing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him chat in speed gaming while he's racing. And of course, Pollsmor, if you know Pollsmor, he's always on the chat, so...
I'm starting to think he actually just has 4 arms. But in any case, we have the big reveal of the big bad. We'll be seeing that again, and everyone's on their way to Sector 1 to deal with the first major objective here, which is the X have infested the atmospheric stabilizers, so we're gonna have to go to 5 separate rooms and blow up the funny things that are on the big fans.
Yep, so if you want to talk about RNG, Sector 1 also has RNG. You'll see here in Pollsmor's screen pretty soon that the ventilation stabilizers also move in a way that you can't always get it hit them right away. So Pollsmor is able to shoot that stabilizer right away. You may see one of the other runners have to wait a little bit, like Scotty did right now. If he did not ledge grab, he would have had to wait for it. And then, if you thought that was enough, it's actually not, because it takes the room some time for the mist to clear out and for the door to open. It's not always a set timer. So almost every facet in this game has some RNG, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it doesn't help that you're trying to keep up with all of that on top of... This is 100%, which means normally you don't really have to worry about your health or your ammo past a certain point, but this first visit to Sector 1, missile management is huge. As you can see that Pollsmor is already in single digits, and Eagle is dropping pretty quick. If you have bad luck with the stabilizers and also with enemies, it's very easy to accidentally shoot all your missiles, and if you're not getting green X's, by the time you get to the final climb with the pirates, you're in trouble, because you can't use your beam to kill them, and they block the ladder.
Yeah, man, Pollsmor will have some issues here with missiles because he's not at full health. He won't get guaranteed missiles here. Although the pirates drop 3 parasites, or 2 parasites each.
Oh, he gets the double green drop. He's in good shape.
Oh, he gets sniped though. He's gonna get hit again here too. Yeah. You could tell from the pirates if they are planning to jump across when you see them start shaking.
Yeah, with the pirates jumping across, or even when they start in the room, is also another RNG. So you can get good pirates, bad pirates, but Pollsmor gets okay pirates, and they give him the drops he wants. So he's in good shape heading into the next boss. At least depending on how his his door luck is.
Oh, Pollsmor misses the first double there. 3 beams so far for Pollsmor, and he gets the double. Eagle really lucky here, getting the 0 beam, but no double. Eagle catching up, mostly because Eagle had a better Sector 1. As you can see, he still has full health. He was able to get through all of the rooms without taking unnecessary damage. And then he had the better RNG for Idor. Unfortunately, Eagle not able to get any doubles.
But he does get the other trick with Core X's, which is the sweet spot, because when you kill the Core X, the revealed center part of it will fly toward a given spot in the room, and if you kill the Core X when it's right on top of that spot, you can grab it immediately instead of waiting it to become grabbable. And Eagle did exactly that, which you saw, and that can also save you a few seconds.
Oh, a lot of misfortune for JC. I think he got like 6 or 7 beams. His last round on the Idor was a 4 beam. JC doing interesting strats here. He's actually doing horizontal doubles on the Core X, which is something that you do to an Idor. He's always been doing that for Charge Beam Core X, as far as I know, and you know he's gotten really good at it.
All of them beyond that, and as you mentioned, that was the Charge Beam Core X, and everybody has the Charge Beam, which is one of the most useful items in this entire game, by
it's extremely overpowered.
Yeah, for those of you who might remember the Zero Mission Tournament, in that game, the Charge Beam was good for little more than pseudo Screw Attack, and you have that in this game too, but that's not all it does. You can tell it's wider than your normal beam, so it actually has 2 shots to it, and on top of that, when you release a charged shot, you see that flash near Samus's arm? That flash does damage too. So right now, a fully charged shot, if you hit it with both parts of the shot and the flash, it does 26 damage. And compared to 10 for your base missiles, that's a lot.
Yep. And you'll see them put them to good use. From now on, Idors don't have 2 rounds, and all the runners can destroy an Idor with just 1 shot versus, you know, having to jam 3 missiles in there. And secondly, a little bit later on, you'll see that the runners will make good use of the flare and add that for extra damage to get a, you know, earlier or quicker fight for bosses.
Yep. And as an added bonus, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As an added bonus, as you get more beam upgrades, it doesn't just increase the damage of your beam, it also increases the damage of the flash.
Yeah. Fusion is really interesting in that missiles aren't really your primary source of damage.
Yeah. No, which is kind of interesting, because you might see someone coming into this game after Zero Mission or Super, where missiles can be incredibly useful. And in this game, past a certain point, you're almost never going to be using missiles for damage. Your beam will be your primary source.
Yeah. For example, in Super Metroid, if you wanted to kill Ridley, you'd spam as many supers as you can before you run out. In Fusion, the runners use their wave beam primarily and follow up the wave beam with single missiles. So, like, the runners could technically kill Ridley 1 round, extra round without the missiles. But it's, you know, it's not really important. So you could go into Ridley with having, you know, only the 4 or 6 missiles that you need for the Core X, and you still do well with the fight.
Yeah, most definitely. But we see everyone moving. I love the fact that everyone's so close to each other. Makes talking about it easier. But everyone's heading into Sector 2 here. The big gimmick now is you need to go get the bombs, but they're locked by the blue doors. So you have to go find the hidden security room. But we all know where it is. It's fine. But much like in Sector 1 being the route where you have to keep your track on your missile count, in this sector you have to be careful with your health. Because those Zoros, are what the red things are called?
Zoros, yeah.
Yeah, those guys, if you touch them, they do 45 damage, and at this point, they still don't have a lot of health, so they gotta be careful. Thankfully, 1 charge shot or 2 missiles takes them out, so you're gonna be seeing them taking advantage of another fun thing about the charge beam, where if you walk through a door while holding the charge, you always come out the other side with a full charge. And if you let go of the button while you're passing through that transition, you also get the shot on the first frame possible. So you'll be seeing them do both of those things.
Yep, there'll be one coming up pretty soon. Actually, they've already done it. You'll see Eagle do it when he... Oh no, Eagle's already done. Well, you'll see JC do it. How about that?
There you go.
Speaking of JC, he's coming up to the point where he died in a race, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think he has really good health. So right here, JC is going to let go of the charge beam during the door transition and automatically shoot and kill that Sorrow, which is very useful.
Yes. Yeah, at this point, a lot of enemies in Sector 2 will do a fair bit of damage to you, and especially with a couple of threats later, a bit later on in the sector, you definitely don't want to be having low health.
Yep. Scotty still maintaining his lead over the other 3 runners, although Pollsmor is just very close behind, and Eagle being number 3 right now, which is very unusual for a runner like Eagle.
Yeah, no. Maybe it sounds like we were hyping up Eagle up. That's because he really is that good.
Well, yeah. And there's one thing to know about Eagle, and I experienced this firsthand. Eagle's late game is very strong, if not the strongest of all the runners in the tournament, or even in the world. So it might not matter to Eagle how far behind he is right now, because he's very confident in his late game and could easily catch up or overtake the other 2 runners.
Yeah, especially considering that cleanup the late game is one of the most challenging parts movement-wise. So if he has a very strong cleanup, that can totally change the outcome of the run right at the end.
Yeah, just to put it this way, I raced Eagle once in any percent, and I have a 46 any percent, which is just one in-game time minute off the world record. And I raced Eagle, and I was ahead. I was leading him by maybe 30 to 40 seconds, and towards the late game, I've done nothing wrong. There were no major mistakes in my run, but Eagle managed to catch up and still beat me.
Wow.
So like Eagle is a monster in the late game.
But speaking of monsters, can we talk for a moment about Zazabi here and how RNG his jumps are? Because this guy, I don't remember how the jump numbers work. You handle that, please.
So this particular boss jumps in 3 cycles. The first one, he's able to jump between 0 and 3 times. The second one, he's able to jump between, I believe it's 1 and 4 times. And then the third round is where he's able to jump between 2 and 5 times. So, wait, I think that's right. But overall, the maximum amount of jumps that the boss can have, assuming you hit him in every round, is 12. And obviously you don't want to have 12 jumps. And on the other side, the minimum number of jumps you can see from this boss is 3. JC getting very good luck there at the start.
Yeah, and Scotty had a fantastic Zazmi. He's gained a huge lead now, and he's obviously not going for sack skip. But Pollsmor is. So there he goes. All right, Pollsmor, please don't die. This trick is very risky.
Oh no. Okay, he morphed. So Pollsmor is no stranger to the sack skip and any mistakes that might come with it. So he was able to react almost instantly when he realized that he was not in the proper position. So what he did was that he morphed as soon as he got hit. And what happens is when you morph, your hitbox becomes 1 square. And it'll allow you to jump over the ice beam that SAX shoots. And the ice beam covers all but 1 square in that little hallway that you're in. So, props to Pollsmor for that instant reflex. He would have died otherwise.
Gosh, and JC getting the 1 pixel trick to fire the missile past that one dude, that one ceiling enemy. Just all sorts of stuff going on.
JC,
stop.
Okay.
And Eagle did not go for it either, which giving Pollsmor an extra, that's what, 15-second lead for getting that trick? So Pollsmor is
yeah.
Pollsmor is building a pretty strong lead, which, as you mentioned, he has to do because Eagle's end game is really strong. So
Yeah, I'm very excited for the end game here. You'll start to see Eagle catch up, I think, when they are about to fight Yakuza. So maybe about 30 minutes from now, 30 to 40 minutes from now, you start to see the race between Eagle and Pollsmor get a little bit tighter. As for JC and Scotty, so both runners actually decided not to do sack skip. Pollsmor was the only one to attempt it, but Scotty's actually has a pretty good lead. I want to say maybe about 30 to 40 seconds. So both all runners keeping it close between their opponents.
oh, definitely. Now we're heading into Sector 4 here, though. There's not too much, just some more movement. You're having to be careful for electrified water, and it's a lot easy to bonk on a bunch of enemies. But
go ahead.
No, I was just going to start talking about the boss. So you go ahead and talk about.
So I made a mistake. I actually thought that JC was in Sector 4, entering Sector 4, but it looks like the text was coming out of Sector 2, leaving it. So Scotty actually has a huge lead against JC right now. It's going to probably be about 2 to 3 minutes. So for JC, he's going to need to tighten up the mechanics or hope that Scotty makes major mistakes.
Or just that he gets much better eye door luck, because even with only having to deal with hit it once, you can still get up to four beams if you have bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, and JC already had very bad luck for the first two eye doors. He had a total of maybe 12 beams. So, versus Scotty getting the one beam on the first two.
But we're going to see here Pollsmor taking a little dip here in the water. Just one of those other fine movement optimizations where even though the water's electrified and it takes damage, it doesn't do that much damage. And it's faster just to jump across like that. And also, we're going to see Pollsmor skipping a missile tank there, because he's one of the few people who actually gets it later, after the boss fight instead of before. Most folks you'll see just grab that now. Actually, there's a few things throughout the run that he does a little bit differently than most folks, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's mostly movement-wise or mechanics-wise because he plays on keyboard. So while he does have certain advantages, he also has certain disadvantages. So he kind of tries to make do with what he's capable of as far as the controller he's playing on.
Yep. Uh-oh, it's a boss door. It's time for the boss that's the poster child of why the charge beam is so good.
Yeah.
Yep, this is I just had a brain fart. Ceres. And you have to hit with the charge beam and the flash. If you hit it twice with both, it's a 2-cycle. Normally it would take you 5 missiles, but with the charge beam we do it in 2. And he hits it right as it comes out of invincibility. That's fantastic. And if he can get the double here, he is... Oh, that's too bad. That was almost flawless.
So that particular pattern for Ceres that Pollsmor had to deal with is actually the fastest pattern because he comes out right next to you and you don't have to wait. Like the moment Ceres leaves the water on the second cycle, he is already vulnerable. And Eagle missing the 2-cycle here, he's gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Oh, and this will be a 4-cycle for Eagle.
Yeah, the thing about Ceres is that its movements come in pairs. So if you know what the first movement is, you can anticipate where it's going to be when it does the second one.
Yeah. So a little bit of bad luck there for Eagle. Unable to get the 2-round Ceres, so he's going to be set further behind against Pollsmor. Meanwhile, Scotty is going to pull ahead here because he already picked up this missile tank coming up that Pollsmor needs to get. So it looked like Pollsmor was in the lead, but he's actually not in the lead. Or they might actually sink. We'll see. Pollsmor having a little bit of issues with the ouches there. Okay, so Scotty regains the lead, and right now JC is okay. That's a good, yeah. Gets the 2-cycle Ceres. A good job for JC.
This is the first double, but it doesn't mean he can't get the second one, which he does get. So,
oh, when he misses the final double.
Doesn't quite get sweet spot, though. He was really close to it. But now all the runners have the speed booster, which is an item that is incredibly useful in this entire run. Because much like in Super Metroid, it lets you go very fast. And Scotty getting the low height Shine Spark. Dang, look at him getting those difficult tricks. But no, speaking of Shine Spark, that's the big selling point of the speed booster, which is if you crouch after once you're glowing, you hold a charge and you can use it to shoot in any of 6 directions, up, left, right, or diagonally up. And, my God, look at Scotty go!
Scotty getting the
1-frame trick.
That swag spark actually became popular because Eagle did it in a ESA run, I think last year or 2 years ago, when Dragonfangs asked Eagle if he could do it in the race. So Eagle obliged him, and I saw it, and I started to do it, and then Pollsmor saw it, and he started to do it, and now everyone's starting to do it. So it's somewhat difficult trick, but it's actually, so Eagle gets it as well. Oh no, but he gets hit.
He got both the low height and the, yeah, because the thing is, getting that swag spark is basically, normally if you run off a ledge with the speed booster, you lose the charge when you land, but if you crouch on the same frame you land, you can still get the charge. And there's a couple spots where it'll save you some time. That's one of them, and it's usually not something it's consistent enough to do regularly, but if you pull it off, then more power to you.
For that particular swag spark, it's actually deceptively easier. It's actually easier because you have cues. The door transition is basically your cue when to press down. So if you know the timing of the door and when you're able to regain control of Samus when you enter a room, all you have to do is press down and you'll get it. So the door acts as a timer for you to do it. But upcoming Sector 3 here for Pollsmor, you'll see Pollsmor try to do the swag spark without assistance from a door, and it is actually really hard. It is a 1-frame trick.
And I'm knowing Pollsmor, I don't think he's gonna try to pause buffer it.
No, pause buffering in the race just makes you lose more time.
Yeah,
yeah, it's unless it's really important that it will save you tons of time. Pause buffering is a very bad idea in a race.
You might see him do it later during the final puzzle room, but that's about the only time.
Oh, Pollsmor not even attempting it. He didn't want to risk not breaking the speed booster blocks there, so it's a good idea. You know, trying to keep it safe. That particular strat might save you. You know, a few seconds, but you lose a lot of time if you mess it up. Although this is 100%, so I don't even think that is a strat that you want to do because you have to pick up that missile down there.
Yeah, that was interesting. In fact, Pollsmor did the horizontal Shine Spark to break the blocks first and then came back for the missile, which I don't think anyone else really does that.
To me, that sounds like Pollsmor adjusting to the keyboard that he's playing on. Once again, he does play on keyboards, so there may be things that he does differently because of the fact he's doing keyboard.
Oh, he did pause buffer there to get the shine break.
He wanted to be sure. Messing up that shine break costs you about 10 seconds, so you either break the speed booster blocks or you know, like if you wanted to be safe, you could just break it and fall through. But if you wanted to do the shine spark, I don't blame him for doing the pause buffer. But Eagle doesn't even try to pause buffer and he gets it, no problem. Eagle is Eagle.
Yeah. Scotty and Eagle both getting the unbuffered, which, yeah, Because the thing is, if you crouch too late, then well, nothing happens. You just break through and go down. But if you crouch too early, which is the real threat, you have to go back into the previous room to get to build up speed again, which wastes, like Ross said, about 10 seconds.
Oh, so JaySee having a little bit of issue there with the reappearing block. He mistimed it, so he had to go back and wait for it to respawn. JaySee is going to be set a little bit further behind here. Meanwhile, Eagle with the data spark. Eagle is one of the most consistent data spark. Like he does it all the time, and it seems like he just knows the timing of it. It's a pretty difficult trick. For most runners, it's a like extremely difficult trick, but for Eagle, he gets it all the time. Pollsmor having issues fighting Box there. He might wait for him to jump over, or he could kill him right there and waste some time.
Yeah, Scotty had a little bit of a sloppy kill too, but he killed him all the way to the right, so he didn't have to wait for Box to walk nearly as far.
Yeah, Eagle's going to catch up here if he gets this fight perfectly. And it looks like it will be a perfect fight for Eagle.
Eagle pulling out the textbook Box fight, look at that.
Meanwhile, JaySee picking up the super missiles here. Let's see if he can get the data spark.
We haven't actually talked about super missiles at all, despite the fact that they're my favorite missile upgrade and the best missile upgrade.
Woo! JaySee with data spark as well.
Nice. Bonking into the ceiling though, but you know, super missiles are one of the best missile upgrade, one of the better upgrades in this game, because it takes your missiles from 10 damage to what, 50 damage, isn't it?
I don't actually know the numbers.
It's a sizable increase, but most importantly, when you shoot a super missile and it hits something, the entire screen shakes and it makes the most satisfying explosion sound. This game gets missile explosions right.
And just like every other Metroid game, if you hit a super against the wall and there's like an enemy attached to the wall, they will be shaken off. Oh, JaySee not getting the right positioning for the box fight. He'll have to wait a little bit here.
Yeah, but it was nearly a perfect fight though. That was still a pretty good box fight for JaySee.
Yeah, and it seems like Eagle has he caught up just a little bit. Not too long ago, he was pretty far behind. Unfortunately, I think that if Eagle got the 2 Cycloceras, he might be synced with Pollsmor.
No, yeah, it's just because Eagle's behind, Pollsmor cannot take it easy, because a single mistake from Pauls and Eagle will be right on his tail.
Yeah, and he also can't do all the safe strats, because he needs to put the pressure on Eagle. You know, like if he does do safe strats for most of the run, Eagle will definitely catch up.
Yeah, although to be fair, I don't think safe strats are a term in Pollsmor's vocabulary. He pretty much always goes for the swaggest, fastest strats, because that's just what he does.
Scotty getting hit by the blue X there.
Oof. Yeah, the blue X in Sector 6 are something that you normally don't really need to worry about, because along the path you need to take, there are not that many of them and they're out of the way, but getting hit by one still will do 35 damage and knock you back, so you don't want to be making a habit of it.
I think it does around 70 damage. There's an initial hit, and then there's another hit after that.
Oh, okay. And Scotty coming up on the second encounter with the sacks. This one's a lot safer than safer because...
Watch Scotty here. He does sack skip differently.
Oh, okay. What? What am I...
Look at that beautiful sack skip from Scotty.
What did I just watch? I have never seen anything like that. That was ridiculous. Falls is going to do it the way that you see most folks do it.
Yeah.
Which is you have to let it take a couple of steps and then you shoot it. Because if you shoot it too soon, it'll just shoot diagonally down at you and freeze you. And if you wait, then it takes forever for it to just kind of saunter out the door.
Yeah,
God.
that was a awesome sack skip from he got that sack skip from a test video, I believe. I don't know if he made any modifications to it, but the test does something similar to that, if not exactly the same.
Scotty does the wildest tricks. He does the same thing in Zero Mission. It's pretty great to watch him run as he gets better.
Yeah. Scotty always goes for, you know, anything that Tassus might do that could be humanly possible. For example, in Zero Mission, he does the JBJ super, Kateria super that nobody else does, aside from maybe Dragon Fangs, you know, because it is extremely difficult and costs a lot of time if you make a mistake.
Yeah. Does get the force cycle even though the giant Corex gets out of position though, so good on him. And Pollsmor gets it as well, looks like. Yeah.
Eagle with the textbook fight here, no problem. And he gets set up for the double too.
Yeah, one thing to note about doubles though, which is now that all the runners have super missiles, doubles are a little bit harder because as you get new missile upgrades, each one of them makes both the missile fly faster and it increases the cooldown between shots.
Pollsmor getting the mid-air bomb jump as well as Scotty does it too. It's getting out of hand now. Please, can we go back to normal strats? I don't want to be surprised anymore.
No, I'm afraid not. We're just gonna have to get your backup mine because they're all gonna blow your first one.
Oh, actually, Scotty did not do what Pollsmor did. I don't think. Oh, Pollsmor almost making a huge mistake. If he fell through, he would have lost a lot of time, and Eagle might have caught up. So Eagle going the traditional route there. Meanwhile, JC getting stuck in between some bomb blocks, and you'll see him fight Mega Corex here soon.
Yeah, Mega Corex is a fight that it's all about keeping it where you want it, because if you don't, then it flies around, you waste a lot of time. I'm actually really bad at keeping it where I want it. It's something I need to practice, but you're not going to see that trouble from any of these four. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, basically Mega Corex rebounds based on where you shoot it. So while you want to keep the flare inside his hitbox, you also want to make sure you hit him kind of outside where his where the lines are for his circle body. Otherwise, he may rebound somewhere else, and it works kind of like what's his name, Newton's law, you know, reaction and opposite action and all that stuff.
Keep your physics out of my Metroid game.
Yeah, something like that. So, for example, if you were to hit Mega Corex at the 5 o'clock position, he'll rebound at the 11 o'clock position, if that makes sense.
Regrettably, now everyone has the ugliest suit in the entire Metroid series, but that's okay, because they'll get rid of it later. I really don't know what they were thinking. Did they just, like, grab color swatches and say, which of these clash the most, and just use those?
Oh no! JC falling through the crumble blocks without picking up the missiles. He's gonna lose a lot of time here.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
And you can see him shooting missiles in frustration. A lot of times you can tell someone's frustrated when they start spamming missiles.
Yeah, this is one of two spots where you have to grab a hole while you're falling like that, and
okay. Yeah, he gets it the second time.
Thankfully, this is the less costly of the two. The other one being the one later on in Sector 5, but
although
nobody misses that.
I don't agree with JC's backup strat there. He could have picked up the second missile on his way down, so that when he came around for the first missile, all you'd have to do was wall jump and come back, instead of having to go in a giant circle twice.
Oh, JC take backup strats. Yeah, you're better versed in backup strats than I am. I haven't taken a tumble there yet. Now that I'm say that's going to happen next time, but
yeah, definitely. If you fall through, like if you don't pick up that missile and you fall through, pick up the second missile first, so that when you come back for the first one, you don't have to fall through again.
Okay. Good to keep in mind. But now with the Various Suit, everyone can... There's three things that the Various Suit does for you here. It decreases damage, although you wouldn't know it because things start doing more damage around this time. It makes it so you can be in these cold rooms because since Samus is part Metroid now, cold rooms hurt her as much as hot rooms do. And third, it means that if you run into the SAX again, the ice beam will no longer freeze you, which is nice.
I wonder if Samus would have been damaged by cold rooms anyway if she wasn't infected, or if she wasn't fused with Metroid.
I get the feeling no, but at the same time, who really knows? But it's another one of those security room things. Scotty on his way to open the yellow doors so that you can go get the data room and get the missile downgrade, or side grade, depending on who you ask.
Are there any chances of the runners attempting reverse ice here? Scotty said no. How about Pollsmor?
I think if this you're racing anybody else, he might try it.
Pollsmor said no.
And I can't blame him because it's a trick.
No.
It's a trick that can save you time, but missing it loses you so much more. Yeah, I mentioned it. It's one of those spots where Swag Spark can save you time, but missing it means you have to go through several rooms again.
Pollsmor versus the door, and the door won. It's not an automatic door. You have to shoot it to open up.
Scotty entering one of the first of several puzzle rooms in this game to get items, and this one the gimmick is having to shoot enemies and have the Core X reform as a different not Core X, have the X reform as a different enemy so that you can use them to get to the missile. That's not the first time we'll see the trick. Actually, no, that's the first time we see the trick, and it's not the last.
As you saw there, Scotty was abusing the spawning of the enemy there, jumping up its hitbox and freezing it as he gets on top, which is an alternate strat. It is really cool to see.
And in some spots, especially with these stretchy enemies in Sector 3 and on the main deck, you can do some really cool climbs taking advantage of that.
Pollsmor pulls ahead of Scotty. It makes me wonder if Pollsmor forgot something.
Does he not grab the puzzle room missile tank until later?
I don't know.
And oh my god, what's going on Pollsmor's screen? Everything is flashing red. His health isn't low. What's going on here?
I think they're coming across a disco party. Oh, an emergency.
Oh god. It's an emergency. It's an emergency in Franker Z. Uh-oh, looks like there's a problem. The boiler is about to explode in Sector 3, so everyone has to go take care of it. Don't take my word for it. Take the computer lady's voice. 6 minutes to...
I want to interact with the chat here and have them guess what times these runners are going to get.
Ooh.
And if you can guess correctly, you are awesome. But if you fail, I will try my best to get you banned.
Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic prize. Wow, you're so good at giveaways. Jokes aside, though, here's what you need to know. A good time is about a 4:30, mid 4:30, 4:35, 4:36, I'd say. And you'll see and a decent time is in the 4:20s. So take your guesses here. We're dealing with a lot of very good runners. What do you think they're going to get?
Eagle's saying in the chat that he made a giant mistake and that he probably would have cost him in the race. I think the giant mistake might be something like he missed an item.
Possibly.
Can't really tell for sure because we don't know what the max missile count is for everyone.
I wonder because I've seen him get all the items so far, but did he? Unless he not get one of the missiles in Sector 5? No, I thought he did. Oh, all right. Monkey helping us out here in the puzzle room after Rice, the one where we were talking about Scotty killing the enemies to get other enemies, he took a tumble and had to reset the room because if you screw up that room in any way, you have to reset it, which is costly.
Yeah, definitely. At least he didn't miss an item, so while he might be set back, there is still a chance.
Oh my god, Scotty's time is fantastic.
It's ridiculous. 4:36 is very, very good time.
4:34 shutdown is fantastically good. And Pollsmor's time not much worse than that. He had like I think it was a high 420 looked like.
Yeah, but it's all dependent on the eye door. If it gives you one beam, there's very low chance of you getting a 430. As you can see here with Eagle, he's probably not. Maybe he will, but it'll be very low 430.
And don't everyone think the emergency is over, because JaySee is starting his own emergency here.
Yeah.
Eagle gonna still need a
432. Yeah.
Yeah, a low 4. Actually, maybe a 431 because he has it a low 434 right now.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 431.
That's still a solid time. Anything above 430 is still a solid time for emergency. But actually, that means he gained a little bit of time on Pollsmor. I think Pollsmor had a 420 something.
Pollsmor almost taking a dip there at the stretchy climb.
Eagle taking a tumble, passing through that room again. Yeah. So with the lead that Pollsmor has, Eagle can't be making mistakes, and I've seen him. He's starting to make a couple of mistakes. I don't know if it's. I doubt it's Pollsmor getting into his head or anything, but it's just like you mentioned. Pollsmor's been practicing hard. Eagle's a little bit rusty. But now let's see how Eagle's climb is, because this is one of my favorite vertical climbs in the game. Is this right here? If done correctly, it just looks so good with the ice missiles. Oh, that looks so sharp.
Yeah, and Eagle definitely faster in that climb than Pollsmor, because Pollsmor actually fell. So slight catch up there for Eagle. Meanwhile, JaySee, about halfway through the emergency, he's gonna have to deal with a giant room here.
Meanwhile, Pollsmor listening to our commentary and repeatedly making fun of things I say. Everyone heading back up to the main deck to do what you do in any decently good Metroid game, which is save the animals.
Yeah, I hope that they do an incentive in AGDQ for saving or killing the animals in Fusion.
In Fusion, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure I heard you right.
If killing the animals won, they would be in for a very rude awakening.
I'm pretty sure that would lead to their Twitter just getting bombarded with angry words.
Hey, kill the animals one. Why did they save it? Joke's on you.
Scotty getting the impossible strat. He's just getting all the swag strats.
Scotty has caught up to Pollsmor. I don't know exactly when Pollsmor took over.
Yeah, Scotty was in the lead for a while there. Pollsmor, I'm not sure. Maybe because Scotty was ahead of him coming out of emergency, so I'm not sure what happened.
So it looks like equal animals for both Scotty and Pollsmor. They are going to maintain the time difference between each other.
JaySee on his way out of sector 3 here, and Eagle making good use of a jump extend there. That's another trick you might see, where if you're somersaulting through the air and you shoot, it doesn't just pop you out, which lets you do the thing where you land faster, but also stops your vertical momentum for a moment, which lets you get just a little bit more distance, which in some cases lets you grab ledges, which you otherwise would fall.
Eagle getting so animals. Meanwhile, JaySee exiting Sector 3, and will be told to go rescue some animals. So all in all, the race is actually pretty close. JC about maybe 3 minutes behind at this point, but still, late game. I have seen a particular runner that did spend about 3 minutes in one puzzle room. So I very confident Scotty will not do that, but it's who knows? It's anyone's guess. Some of the puzzle rooms at cleanup can be very, very unforgiving.
Yes. Yeah, we weren't joking. We said that cleanup is one of the most challenging parts of the run, especially movement-wise. So, and the order right now could very much change during cleanup.
I'm going to guess that Eagle is going to start catching up at this point, because right now after we pick up the power bomb, we've reached the late game, where after you get power bomb, you'll start going through a gauntlet of bosses, one after the other. And Eagle is very good at the late game, as I mentioned earlier, so you may see the catch up soon. And that's catch up with a CATSUP.
You barbarian. But in any case, like Ross has said, everyone's on their way to get the power bombs, which in this game, you get so many of them. This game gives you 74 power bombs by the end, but they are very useful because aside from just exploding very largely, they also reveal blocks, which is something they basically combine it with the X-ray scope. The downside is it's also absurdly loud in this game for some reason. You get this extremely loud whoosh every time you drop one.
And also, if you play casually, you'll find that power bombs act as a vacuum for any of the X parasites in the area.
That's right.
So if you're low on health, you're low on missiles, if you plant the power bomb, it will suck in all of the parasites for you to pick up.
Oh, Pollsmor not quite getting the fancy jump extend strat in the ice puzzle room there to get to the ice room.
That is a chance for Eagle to catch up. I don't think I've seen Eagle mess that strat up a long time, so we'll see.
And Scotty gains a few more seconds on Paul's because of it. And I guess theoretically this next room is a sax chase, but you're never actually going to see the sax.
You may see one ice beam or something.
Maybe, but again, Scotty is... Okay, there you go. I saw one ice beam.
Scotty getting the good position on the power bomb. I think that's high enough.
I don't know. It looks a little bit low. We'll see in a moment. Oh, there we go. That sure showed me. Getting really good ripper placement, too.
Oh, so Scotty... Pollsmor went and picked up that item that we mentioned earlier after getting ice missiles. He picked it up late, and Scotty did not have to go through it, so he's in the lead now. Actually, it's a pretty good lead on Pollsmor.
And Pollsmor getting the high power bomb, he should be fine as well.
I did not see if Eagle got the fall strat, the wall jump strat.
Oh, Pollsmor getting bad ripper placement, though, so you had to wait a couple seconds. And I did not see either.
Eagle having a little bit of difficulty planting the power bomb the first time. And apparently the second one was not high enough, so he's going to lose a little bit of time here.
Yeah, planting that power bomb high enough is deceptively difficult.
Yeah, you basically have to plant the bomb as soon as you morph, and you can't take your time in morphing either. This game is unlike Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion, where if you hold A and press down twice, I believe in Super Metroid, that is a thing because you do Alcatraz that way, I believe, where you gain height as you morph. And Fusion is somewhat the same way, where you can gain height as you morph as long as you're holding A. But did I say Fusion? I meant Zero Mission. But for Fusion, it's not possible. The moment you press down, you stop gaining height.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty getting the Ripper puzzle room in one try. Pollsmor taking one fall, so losing a little bit more time there. And Eagle looks like...
Eagle's gonna catch up.
Oh yeah, Eagle is right on Pollsmor's tail right now. But Scotty just lengthening the lead. Scotty's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, if he's I want to say that he might be on pace for another PB, but I can't tell you for sure.
Neither can I. But I can if you stall for a moment while I check the leaderboard.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Scotty is on a hellish pace right now. I mean, he's outrunning what, maybe top 3 runners of this category. 2 of the top 3.
Yeah.
So all Scotty has to do is just keep the pressure on him. Try not to make huge mistakes. It's okay to make minor mistakes because everyone's going to make minor mistakes, but you don't want to make huge mistakes. You don't want to allow them to catch up. As far as Scotty is versus JC, he's gained so much time on JC right now that it probably won't be an issue for Scotty. Once again, as long as he doesn't make any major mistakes.
Yeah, although, even though we mentioned before, there are certain possible death spots, like that first sack skip or other trouble spots. At this point in the game, everyone's health and ammo is so high that the possibility of death or having ammo trouble is essentially nil. Your only possibility of losing the lead at this point, especially a lead as big as the one Scotty has, is choking repeatedly on costly puzzle rooms or doing certain movement tricks.
JC being very bold there, jumping over the rippers and shooting downwards at them. Very fancy strat there for JC. Alright, the upcoming boss here for Scotty is Yakuza. Which
oh boy.
Is very, it's a very difficult boss, both casually and from a speedrun perspective, because he is erratic. There's no set pattern for him, so it's a reflex game. You basically have to shoot missiles at him as soon as his mouth opens, but that can he can jump anywhere, so it'll keep the runners on their toes. It is also a major source of time loss because Yakuza has RNG, just like almost every other boss, which can cost Scotty some time here.
I think JC just got the fastest Ripper puzzle room of the 4 of them, so good on him. That was a really good room.
Scotty getting the zero beam. So far, so good, huh?
Well, let's see how Yakuza treats him, because if Yakuza wants to not open its mouth, then there's not much you can do.
Yeah. All you gotta do is wait. Oh, and the 1 round from Scotty.
What is this luck?
He's gonna make it very hard for the other 2 runners. Unfortunately, like I said here, Scotty having issues now hitting him.
Please.
Yeah, this is the worst. This is the worst part of the fight. I know Eagle handles this phase very well, so you'll see Eagle do a lot better than Scotty did. Let's check out Pollsmor now.
Yeah, Pollsmor not giving it. Oh, Scotty not doing well with the doubles on this fight though.
I think he hit 1.
Didn't get sweet spot either. So if Pollsmor has a good fight and also gets multiple doubles, he's going to gain back some time here.
And but Eagle's actually on Pollsmor's tail right now. This is what I said early on. Both getting the wait, did Eagle miss? I think Eagle did not shoot enough missiles to start the round.
Oh no.
So this is a 5 round for Eagle. Oh my god.
But let's see how he handles phase 2.
Yeah, phase 2, I think Eagle will do very well here.
Hitting with a horizontal, I don't think I've ever seen that.
This was Eagle's chance to catch up and take the lead.
He didn't miss a single hit in round 2. That was fantastic.
And this, yeah, despite the mistake, Eagle is still right behind Pollsmor.
And getting 2 doubles.
As far as the next boss goes, Netori, I think Pollsmor might have the edge on Eagle here because Pollsmor is on the keyboard. I do believe that keyboard players have faster mashing than controller users. So we'll
'cause
see.
the point of actuation is a lot easier to figure out, so it's mashing feels a little bit easier. At least that's
and
my experience with it.
I don't know if Pollsmor is on a mechanical keyboard, but if it is, then he's got a I want to say unfair advantage on this fight. But
Meanwhile, this
who
is
knows?
technically the most challenging sax chase, especially casually, but in this run it's more or less a laugh, because even if it shoots you, which it shouldn't if you move fast enough, you're not in any danger health-wise. And here's Notori, just kind of stands there and takes missiles.
Oh yeah, Scotty is a top runner. He is on that leaderboard.
He has a 107 according to the board, but a lot of folks saying I guess he got a 106.
Yeah, he got a 106 today. So
Wow.
he is still like he's new, but he's already like at an elite level. So
No, yeah, Scotty is he did the same thing to Zero Mission, just kind of appeared and just went from not. And he gets Sweet Spot on that. Very nice.
let's see, one beam for Pollsmor, and you'll see him here with fancy keyboard strats here for the missiles.
Look at those missiles go.
Eagle once again right on Pollsmor's tail. So, but he's getting 2 beams here.
Meanwhile, JC entering the Yakuza fight here. Let's see how his luck goes. And he just paused. What's he doing? Oh, I hope JC is not having controller trouble or anything.
Oh, he's probably checking to see if he's missed anything. Like, anytime somebody pauses in a game or in a race, my first guess is that they're checking to make sure that they're, where they're supposed to be.
An odd time to do it. And oh, JC getting horrible luck with Yakuza here. Come on, open up.
So, Eagle gets the double-double. I don't know if Pollsmor did or not.
I think he got a single. I think he might have gotten a single double. I know Scotty got a single double, it looked like. And doubles on that Core X are actually pretty tricky.
Oh, Eagle getting the fancy D-boost strat there. What happened was that he shine sparked in a way that when he bonked the ceiling, there was an enemy right next to him to knock him out of that bonk animation, allowing Eagle to immediately take control over Samus again. It's a very fancy strat, and it is a somewhat a frame perfect trick where you have to shine spark and clip the low ceiling above you so that you're close enough, or actually fast enough to get hit that way.
And don't think for a minute we're neglecting JC, because he actually did get 2 doubles and a sweet spot on the Yakuza Core X, so he had a very strong second half of his fight after that rough phase 1.
So Pollsmor leaving his fate up the chat. He said 5 seconds or lose 20, and he means Nightmare Space Boost.
Here we go.
Eagle goading him into doing the Nightmare Space Boost on chat.
Well, it turns out you don't really have to. He just does it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he might not even need to ask, because he's probably going to do it anyway.
Yeah, because anyone who's been watching this tournament knows that every time the first person shows up to Sector 5 for this, that Pollsmor starts spamming Nightmare Space Boost in chat, trying to go to other people and do it, but no one ever does. Only him.
Scotty going for the Shine Spark, being safer there. What makes Nightmare Space Boost so difficult is that when you transition through these rooms with the low ceiling, for some reason the game tries to force Samus down into the ground between transitions, making it harder for the runner to maintain the space boost. Because 1, the ceiling is low, so you don't have enough height, to maintain it, and 2, the game's actually trying to get you on the ground, so you're playing against the game. What is required is that you have to press A at the precise time between transitions. Pollsmor is going for it.
Of course he is. He always goes for it.
Oh
Oh, no!
He's gonna have to walk the walk of shame. This Eagle is going to catch up right now. This is
That's
it. This is
unfortunate.
Eagle. This is, oh man, this is gonna be really exciting for Eagle and Pollsmor right now. Eagle taking the lead. Oh no, not yet, but he will.
No, that's rare though, because Pollsmor, it's a difficult trick, but Pollsmor is really good at it. He usually gets it no trouble, so this is a surprise.
I want to say it is the intimidating aura, Eagle's presence.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, because you watch any other race, you see Pollsmor doing goofy tricks and stuff because he's just having fun because he's good and he knows it. I mean, yeah, but I mean, against Eagle, even making a mistake like that it just has to be weighing down on you a bit.
So we're talking about Eagle and Pollsmor here. Meanwhile, Scotty is miles ahead of everybody.
And he's about to fight Nightmare, which my usual fun game here is everyone take a look at this boss. Tell me what the heck do you think it is, because I'm still not sure what it's supposed to be. I've heard it described as a softball or a cat in a microwave. I call it a sad CRT with arms. What do you think it is? Because I honestly do not know. Oh god.
I'm looking at the arms, and I'm thinking it's an Onyx evolution. Some sort of Onyx evolution.
Actually, I think last time you also said it reminds you what happens when you put Jello in the microwave.
Yeah.
Eldritch Jello. That's another one. Yeah. At this point, yeah, with ice missiles, doubles are very challenging at this point, so Sky's making it look easy here.
Unfortunately for Eagle, he did not get a better RNG for the Idor. Getting the better RNG would have made this probably a synced race. But Eagle is just ever so slightly behind, and getting a perfect fight here may... So I think Eagle gets the better first round. Let's see how quickly Pollsmor can get Nightmare into position here. So he lures him properly. Okay, this is really good for Pollsmor. Perfect second round for Pollsmor. Eagle's going to do the same thing.
Yep.
Eagle's position of Nightmare is a lot better than Pollsmor. If you saw, Nightmare just instantly disappeared when Eagle killed him. Pollsmor, on the other hand, was a little bit higher than usual. So he's just like Box, in where if you kill him in the right spot, he'll take a lot less time to get away. Same thing for Nightmare. If you kill him in the right spot, he'll disappear almost instantly. So Eagle still inching forward and trying to catch up to Pollsmor and take the lead.
I'd also say something that it's not really apparent. The Nightmare fight, the first phase, is actually one of the final examples of taking advantage of flare to really kill a boss faster.
Yeah,
that's why you see them jumping into the little thing that's in its undercarriage there.
Oh,
Eagle, no.
Oh, Eagle having issues with that fish pirate.
And Scotty now in the most soothing area of the game, underwater sector 4.
JaySee getting the Nightmare Shine Spark there. Let's see if he can get the missile here on the left wall. No problem.
Yeah, that's a costly mistake. If you take a tumble, if you don't hit that... Thankfully, there's a good visual cue. Oh, wow!
What?
One frame recover!
What was that?
That was swag as hell is what it was.
So, JaySee fell through the crumble blocks there just before the E-Tank, but he managed to recover by falling through and getting the one frame spring ball on the next crumble block. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, now, if you played Super Metroid, you might think, oh, that's easy, you just hold down the jump button. No, in this game, even with spring ball, you have to jump on the frame you land or you're falling. So that was not an easy recover to make.
No, it wasn't. That was crazy.
Wow.
So Eagle's still nipping on Pollsmor's heels here. This is very exciting.
Scotty is ahead, but still, there's still cleanup, which is challenging, and Eagle and Pollsmor are just right on top of each other. This is turning out to be every bit as exciting as I'd hoped. You can't see it, but I have a big stupid grin on my face right now.
JC getting the one beam. Let's see if he can get this E-Tank here in quick fashion. Oh,
Oh no! Oh,
I have to go around.
that's always unfortunate. That trick is one of those ones where you kind of get used to it and it becomes simple, but when you least expect it and you get a little bit complacent, you drop the unmorph and you don't get it.
Yeah. Let's see if Scotty can get the Shine Spark chain here. No problems at all.
He has one more. He has to recharge it one more time. Okay, gets it.
Very good. Now it's Pollsmor's turn.
Yeah. That trick is actually the hardest part is the first Shine Spark, but you can still drop it on the first or second recharge if you're not careful.
The hardest part is the first Shine Spark in how they execute it, because they're trying to get through the room as quickly as possible. They Shine Spark from where they stand basically, but if you want it to be more consistent about it, you can basically jump on the platform right next to the barrier and then do a Shine Spark that way. That way you won't, mess it up, and you'll be at the correct height for the slope.
I might have to try that because I have some trouble actually with the first and second recharge rather than the Shine Spark. So that's good to know.
So Pollsmor getting the trick. Eagle also maybe he is getting the trick.
Ooh.
Eagle
grab that last bit of slope.
He's catching up. I don't know how. It must be movement.
Yeah, like it's as we said earlier, when you're playing at this high of a level, small movement optimizations can make all the difference. And Eagle, especially I remember even in Zero Mission Hundo, which has a lot of tricky movement in it, Eagle is just completely next level on his late game movement. It's one of his great strengths.
So a while earlier, Eagle was kind of sad that he lost 45 seconds in a particular puzzle room, but it looks like he gained all of that back against Pollsmor. I think if Eagle did not mess that thing up, he'd be well ahead of Pollsmor and probably right behind Scotty.
Yeah. And oh god, the JC is having some trouble in this room, but there's no shame in it. We affectionately refer to it as the worst room in the game, and there's a reason for that. Those enemies are in the most awkward positions, and you can't really kill them easily. You just kind of have to freeze them and hope you don't shoot you with their orange annoying boomerang thingies. They can knock you around like a piñata if you're not careful, and they often do.
Pop quiz for everyone. What is the most annoying room in the game for Super Metroid and Zero Mission?
Well, I'd say 90% in Super Metroid, it's probably the aptly named worst room in the game.
Yes.
And in Zero Mission... Goodness, I'm not sure. I guess it kind of would depend on the category again, wouldn't it?
Well, I think for Super Metroid, worst room in the game is still worst room in the game, even if it was 100%.
Well, it's not nearly as bad because you have Screw Attack.
Yeah, but from what I understand in Super Mission, every room has a name, and it doesn't change based on the category.
It doesn't. That's one of the things I actually love about Super Metroid. Is that you go on their resource thing, every single room does have a name, even rooms that you never see. But in Zero Mission, I'm honestly not sure.
Oh, maybe Eagle can catch up here on Tech Smash.
Yeah, tech smashing in this game is a skill. You don't have to worry about it normally because we use in-game time for the boards, so those text boxes don't really matter. But in a race, they do. So tech smashing can make a world of difference.
Eagle still right behind Pollsmor.
The computer lady on Scotty's screen letting us know that there's no Magoo without authorization. Oh no, what is this? We're being attacked by a Microsoft console. It's the Xbox.
What is Scotty doing? I've never seen that strat before. So he jumps in and pseudo screw attacks box 2 for a quick kill. That is ridiculous. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen a box 2 kill that fast. What the heck is Scotty? Like, what is he?
So in contrast, you'll see Pollsmor do a more traditional box 2 fight. You can see how much different it is.
What?
From the traditional.
I blinked and I missed that entire box 2 fight just about. What was that? Oh my god.
I thought Scotty'd given up. I was like, why is he jumping?
God, after that phase one, I was half expecting him just to get double missiles on the core, which is a TAS-only strat, but I would not have been surprised if he had done it. He's just continuously just blowing my mind this race.
So as you can see here, Pollsmor doing the traditional, and Eagle will probably be doing it as well. I don't know Eagle for doing crazy TAS strats.
Yeah, I will say, now that we're seeing more traditional box 2 strats, the thing about box 2 is that the room is a bit lower, so it can knock you off the ceiling if it jumps, and the water's electrified, so you want to kind of get the right angle to hit the diagonal missiles and then get out of the way, otherwise it will knock you off.
Pollsmor getting the better box 2 fight here, so Eagle will be set behind just a little bit. However, I want to say Pollsmor may have issues with Ridley because of his limitations on the keyboard, as I mentioned earlier. He cannot hold L while moving because he is only allowed 3 inputs at a time.
Oh, he doesn't have the N key rollover.
Nope.
Actually, in that case, he isn't playing with a mechanical then, because most mechanicals have N key rollover. That's a surprise.
Yeah, so what he's going to do is he's going to do you'll see him move to the left or to the right just before he shoots because he's doing up left or up right when he jumps.
Pollsmor letting us know he's playing with a $10 keyboard.
Yeah. So his Ridley fight will be a little bit more different than the others, and you'll see it. You can clearly see it when he does fight. That he moves just before firing the charge beam.
But,
Eagle, he's playing on console, so he doesn't have to worry about that. And that might make a difference because if you have to move like that, there is a chance that you might not hit, the longest distance in the hitbox. For Eagle, it's just a matter of keeping still.
Oh my goodness, I'm still kind of recovering from everything that's going on. It's been an absolute wild ride, and we're not even in cleanup yet.
There is a chance the room that Scotty is in right now. There is a chance that the parasites don't spawn enemies, and it's a somewhat of a soft lock, but not really, because you can reset the room. But if that happens, it's an unfortunate time waster, and I don't think we quite fully understand why that happens. Fortunately for Scotty, he did not get that little glitch.
He certainly did not. And we also actually forgot to mention that everyone picked up diffusion missiles, which are the final missile upgrade, which basically gives your missiles a very slow charge that makes it explode that circular snowflake thingy, which has its uses in a couple of spots, but otherwise just makes double missiles extremely difficult. That's its main purpose in this game, honestly.
Scotty having issues with the gold pirates, but he managed to get through, but he might have lost like maybe 10 seconds, I think. Because it was unnecessarily long.
Yeah, gold pirates in this game are about as annoying as you might remember in Super, but their big thing is you're supposed to shoot them in the back. But because of what I can only assume is a programming shortcut, the game doesn't check if you're behind them. It actually just checks if you're facing the same direction, assuming you would be behind them if you were. So if you shoot them and then turn around really quickly, it works. And that's what we do.
So Scotty getting 2 less than optimal shots on Ridley, 3 now. The object is to get the wave beam through his hitbox diagonally. But he did shoot at Ridley's tail like twice, so some of the wave beam didn't fully connect. Eagle taking care of some golden pirates here. Oh, also making mistakes like Scotty did.
I saw a double there. I saw a double in there. Any doubles on the Ridley Core X are good, because it's very, very difficult to get double missiles with the diffusions.
All right, watch carefully how Pollsmor handles this fight. It's funny to me. You see how he moves before he shoots? Fortunately, like, if he does get lucky and that Ridley is low enough, he doesn't have to jump, and it kind of gives him a break. But he is taking a little bit longer on Ridley fight because of it. Eagle may catch up here if he gets better quality shots on Ridley.
Wow, Pollsmor getting doubles though. No, I cannot overestimate how difficult the doubles are on this Core X. I don't think I've ever gotten a single one.
Eagle also getting doubles. Two doubles. No,
Can he get the triple? Oh, that would have been fantastic if he gotten the triple double there.
Keeping the pressure on Pollsmor. So 3 of the 4 runners are now on cleanup. JaySee is still trying to handle the Core X box, Xbox or Box 2.
Ooh, gets Sweet Spot, looks like. Yeah, but now we're in cleanup, so now it's basically how good is your movement, and are you willing to do some of the riskier strats? If so, then you will save a lot of time in cleanup.
I think for the Eagle and Pollsmor race, both runners are going to go for the risky strats because they are so close to each other that doing safety strats might be the deciding factor, especially in Sector 6, where you can decide to use Shine Spark or you can choose to use Space Boost. So to me, Eagle, I know he hasn't played in a while, so he might kind of float on the safer side. But
possibly, but the time, but I don't know, because he's still been playing very well, and like I mentioned earlier, Eagle Rusty is still a very strong player. So I would not put it past him to. Oh, curious, doing a Shine Spark there. I don't usually see that.
I don't think it saves or loses time.
Yeah, because the thing about the Shine Spark, the wind up and the bonk animations, if the spark itself is too short, don't really save you any time. But you're going to be seeing a lot of Shine Sparking in cleanup. Speed Booster is used all over the place, and being able to use it well will save you a lot of time.
Scotty is like a minute ahead or something like that.
He is. Saying he's playing out of his mind is not an exaggeration. He is just having a spectacular run.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say anything. I know about commentators' curse. So I'll just leave it at that. Meanwhile, JaySee getting rid of some Metroids and a SAX and is on his way to Ridley.
God, Scotty's R shooting has been on point too. What you saw there was he opened a door while he was space boosting. If you're holding a charge and press the right shoulder button, which you use to shoot missiles, the game lets you release your charged shot without popping out of the somersault. So that's how he's able to space boost through the door and get those 2 missile packs without slowing down.
Yeah, it's known as the R shot. The way it works is that in Fusion, whenever you're holding a charge beam and you engage your missiles with the R trigger, the game allows you to shoot whatever it is that you're holding. And that also includes when you're somersaulting. So it's very useful in certain places, like Sector 6, where you can, like what Scotty just did right now, where you can open doors without breaking your space boost.
Eagle and Pollsmor both opting for the Shine Spark instead of the Space Boost, which is a little bit slower, but still faster than jumping through it normally.
Yeah. And another thing to mention, while it doesn't really affect the runners now, you are unable to do an R shot if you don't have any missiles because you don't have any missiles to engage. So Samus's cannon doesn't have that you know, open animation because she doesn't have missiles. Scotty getting the mid-air bomb jump, which is swag-alicious, saves him like maybe half a second there. And the reason why he does that is because when a power bomb explodes, for some reason, and this is also true for Zero Mission, you are unable to ledge grab. It just throws you off, like, nope, no ledge grab while there's an explosion for some reason.
As the screen's shaking too much, Samus can't grab it. But yeah, cleanup is beginning. Everyone's in Sector 3, but the part where it's really going to where cleanup might really make or break is Sector 6. Sector 6 is by far the most challenging sector in cleanup. And they're going to be there just a little bit because they're in Sector 3 now, and after this, they go to Sector... My brain just stopped working. Sector 5. And then
Pollsmor also getting the mid-air bomb jump. Craziness. Why is all the craziness happening right now?
Okay, Faison, I'm sorry. Everyone who is in cleanup is in Sector 3. I'm sorry.
Eagle also getting the mid-air bomb jump. These guys are just like out swagging each other. It's like a game of horse right now.
JaySee actually having a pretty strong showing in Sector 1 there, though. He had no trouble with the gold pirates and made it through Ridley very quickly.
He might be the only one without issues on the gold pirates.
Yeah, he one shot, one kill on both of the ones in the room two before Ridley, which was very clean.
Eagle still on Pollsmor's tail. This is crazy. It's gonna come down to a mistake from either runner.
Yeah. Because at this point, there are no more eye doors. There is one boss of any particular consequence left, although there's technically two bosses, and one Core X with doubles, which are again very difficult with diffusion. So we are not going to know how this ends until the end.
The best thing about it right now is that there is no more RNG, so they can't blame RNG.
Nope.
They have only their skill to blame.
Pure execution from here on out. Oh man, Eagle getting that space boost through that part of Sector 3.
I'm very curious. They're approaching Sector 6. I'm very curious to see which of these runners is going to get that power bomb first try.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a little bit shaky here. This is because we're heading into Sector. Oh man, it's heading into Sector. When they get to Sector 6, it's just gonna be real tense.
Oh, Scotty having just a little bit of issues with his wave beam.
Playing really well because I saw his timer flash red for a split second, so he's pretty much playing on par with his PB right now. It looks like.
Yep, and no problems there. He wanted to get that quick jump on that floaty pancake, but gets hit and is able to recover with the space jump. Yeah, Scotty is on a ridiculous pace. And if he keeps it up, there is no way Eagle and Pollsmor can catch up.
But then again, Sector 6, though, can't stress this enough. It's the hardest sector.
It will be very tense for Scotty. He probably has palm spaghetti. Is that how you say it? Knees weak and arms spaghetti.
Spilled it all over his sweater already.
There's spaghetti on his spaghetti. But
I can't believe you think about that damn joke right now in 2017. How dare you?
It is Sector 6 time. He's gonna go for the space boost here. I know it. He's got the height.
Oh.
Yeah, he got the height. He's got the height. Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, yes! Oh, that trick is always so it's always so a little bit clench worthy, but it's always so satisfying when someone pulls it off.
That is Craigasm worthy. But hold your Craigasms, please, because there is another strat here that he's about to do.
The dumb power bomb tank. Arguably the worst pickup and cleanup. So remember how we talked about how crumble blocks require one. You can jump off them if you have on the same frame. It's a one-frame trick. Well, we're going to have to do that here because we're coming up on a power bomb tank where the game expects you to freeze an enemy to jump across, but that takes forever because enemies are slow. So we just blow them all up with power bombs and then just force ourselves to do a one-frame jump to get a power bomb tank, and it's terrible.
Pollsmor attempts the space boost, but gets blocked by the very first platform.
This could be where Eagle passes him.
Eagle getting... Oh no! Eagle is... He's caught
Right
up.
on him. Eagle's right on him.
This is a race. Guys, if your girlfriend's calling you right now, hang up on her and watch this because it's intense right now. Like, this is crazy. What? It's maybe a 1 or 2 second gap between the two runners?
Yeah, it is so close right now. This is more intense than anything she could possibly do for you. Just don't even.
Oh, here comes Scotty with the worst power bomb pickup in the game.
I thought I was going to get it first try.
He gets his second try. This is still good.
Ball strats, what?
He is still probably on pace. He's probably on pace for a 105 right now.
Yeah, he's still playing so well. He's basically, there's only one more challenging thing left in Sector 6. If he can get that, he is just... Oh my goodness. I can't even think. I can't. Oh, I can. I'm gonna stop talking for a moment. Regain my thoughts.
Meanwhile, Eagle and Pollsmor, you're getting close to that stupid power bomb. I want to see who gets it first.
Oh, Scotty, not quite making it all the way across the room with the space boost, but not quite getting the energy tank. Still doing so well though.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Keep an eye out for the runners for the bottom screen, the bottom of your screen there.
Gosh. This power bomb tank could change everything.
Who is gonna get it first?
Oh my god!
Crazy. Eagle's actually in the lead right now.
What? He didn't even wait.
Oh, and he gets it the first try. Pollsmor. Wow. And Eagle gets the ledge grab out, so he actually gains time.
He gets the reverse. Oh my! I haven't seen that in ages. It's been many, many days since I've seen that. That
lead change. Oh my god. They both get it the first try, but Eagle got it faster.
Oh my god. And now let's see how they handle this energy tank. If Eagle botches the grab, but Pollsmor gets it.
Oh,
no, Eagle gets it. He gets it.
Pollsmor.
Oh no.
This is what I was talking about, how Eagle is so good at the late game that even if you had a huge lead on him, it doesn't matter. He's going to catch up to you.
My god. Between Eagle and Scotty, I can't even deal with this. This is... I have so much adrenaline right now.
All that there's left that could possibly change the lead right now is Crumble City, I think.
Either that or the other annoying Crumble Block room with the Rippers.
Eagle has a very good strat for that room. And
oh no, Scotty! Oh no, Scotty!
He falls through the Crumble. Oh, and he Shine Spark, which loses him a little bit more time.
Oh no, Scotty!
I don't think we're going to see a 105 here from Scotty now.
Oh, but unfortunate. He fell in one of the worst spots, too. He fell in one of the spots where you had to roll all the way to the left and bomb your way out. And so yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you said we're probably not going to see a 105 from Scotty here, but he's still playing so well though. Only one more room that I would say is really worrisome, and that's the room I was mentioning with the Rippers in the Crumble Blocks. Otherwise,
Eagle's got a very, very solid strat for that room, and you'll see it soon.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Eagle, no problems with Crumble City not touching a single block. This is probably due to the many times that he's had to. Oh, commentator's curse!
Look what you've done!
No! Eagle, please! Pollsmor is now ahead. Oh my god.
But not by much, only a few seconds.
Oh no! Why did I say things like this?
Oh goodness, and it's so close now. There's not that many items left to grab. Meanwhile, Scotty getting that room with no trouble. Make me feel like an absolute dope. I always have trouble in that room.
Oh, this is intense. This is for the #1 seed. I think they're gonna do a bracket after the Swiss thing.
Yes.
This is for the #1 seed between Eagle and Pollsmor. Both are 3-0 in the bracket or in the pool right now. So the winner here will be the only undefeated player in the game.
Yeah. It's like, so we end up with the kind of extremes here, because Scotty and JaySee both have no wins. Eagle and Pollsmor have only wins, so someone's going to break their perfect streak here.
Yeah. That was unfortunate for Eagle, and I was going to mention how he's really good at space jump E-Tang. Eagle,
no! Oh no!
Please.
Oh no! This could be it. That could be what cost Eagle the. He's now a fair bit behind Pollsmor, and that could be enough to lose it for him. Just, oh no, that could be it.
There's still one more room, although it is a pretty easy room, relatively for the skills of these runners.
Oh, that's a good point. If Pollsmor goes for the crumble shine spark and doesn't get it, that's going to lose him some time.
Yeah, but like I said, it is pretty easy for these runners at this level. The room that we're in mentioned is Scotty's room, and he gets the
unbuffered. Unbuffered.
Scotty sold his soul to the devil. Like, I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he did today.
I have no words. What is Scotty's? Is he a task that became sentient? I'm seriously curious about this.
All right, here comes the shine spark chain here for Pollsmor.
Oh, and we're going to see on JaySee. We're going to see, just pointing this out here. This is the more intended and much safer strat for this room. Shine sparking through there instead of doing the space boost. Oh god, the puzzle room though. Let's see how Pollsmor does this.
Let's see if he can get this shine break. He's gonna pause buffer and lose. Okay, no. If he gets this, he won't. Oh, he lost time from the pause buffer. Oh god, here comes Eagle. He's not going to pause buffer. I know it. And he does too. What is wrong with these guys?
Gets it.
No, he does.
He drops it.
Why are you pause buffering? Stop.
Oh no. Oh, that could have. Oh god, that could have gained him some time back if he had gotten that. Scotty getting the final item. He is at 100%. On his way to the longest text box in the game, which I'm going to use to eat a slice of pizza because there's nothing else to talk about.
Get the popcorn. This is probably a 106. I want to say it might be a 106 for Scotty, or easily a 106 for Scotty, but it could be a 105. I don't know, like, whether or not he got a really good sax fight, or...
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen yet, and Crumble City cost him a bit of not insubstantial amount of time. So 106, I think, feels like a 106.
Yep. One thing to note between Eagle and Pollsmor, though, is that Pollsmor does horizontal strats on sax, which is about 3 to 4 beams slower, or 3 to 4 shots slower than the diagonal strats that you'll see Eagle doing there. If Eagle can maintain the pace and not lose time to platforming, he might actually catch up to Pollsmor. We'll see.
And it also depends on the core, because the Core X is extremely difficult to get doubles on because it's a beam core and diffusion missiles.
Yeah.
So any one double missile on that core can saves a few seconds, and that can be at this point every second counts, every frame counts. They are so close to each other.
And for those doubles, I think Pollsmor might actually get more doubles versus Eagle because he is pretty consistent at it, and it might be because I taught him how to do it. But you know, I'm not tooting my own horn here.
Humble
But
brag.
he can get at least 2 doubles consistently. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh no, JC, come on! I believe in you, man. He's on. Oh
Gets
gosh,
a
he's
spring ball, but did not hold right.
That's like I think it's a six try. He's having a lot of trouble with this. This is I can't stress how difficult that powerbomb tank is to get. It really is.
Extremely annoying.
Come on, JC, I believe in you, man.
I'm gonna look at SRL here in just a second.
No one's done in the channel yet.
Oh no, I mean Scotty has yet to fight Sax, so but I'm keeping it up right now just to see what's going on.
Eagle and Pollsmor both on the full screen text boxes. Oh my god. Oh gosh, JC actually resetting the room. And he gets it first try after resetting the room. Alright, here we go. Sax fight. Scotty using diagonal strats as we expected. Faster because, as always, square hitbox.
For some reason, Scotty got a 6-shot on SAX. One or two of the beams might not actually been hitting SAX.
Flawless phase 2, and here we go. The core.
That looked like a double. That's not a double. That's not a double either. Yeah, so I don't think he's going to PB here, but it is still a huge time for Scotty in terms of race. He probably with this win, he'll probably have the fastest time in this race so far.
Yeah, this is going to be a tournament best so far, and might even be a race world record because I'm not sure what the race world record is.
How do I look at that?
I have no idea.
Race world record in Metroid Fusion is 1:43.13 by Biospark. He has 2 minutes to do, so he can probably get it.
Oh, just Lord Nav in the chat. Usually, if you don't get a double, the missile tanks. So if you see an extra X parasite fly out of the core X, that means they missed the double.
Yeah, we always keep an eye out on the bottom part of the ice core X to see if a super missile fell off. If you do see that, then it tinked, and it just did not hit.
He's gonna get the low height. He gets the low height. It looks like
the low height to me. Oh no! Just like maybe 1 pixel too high. That's
that was so close. But Scotty taking the time to talk in chat, saying, "Yeah, it might be a PB." Look at this guy. JC, no. JC, no. Oh. Oh. Scotty saying
still in the lead.
Yeah, JC graciously dropping a power bomb so we can all see that this is why it's called Crumble City. It's made up entirely of crumble blocks. And playing with my heart here, JC, no, please.
Oh, dude. Scotty might get the race world record here.
Gosh.
Did he? He didn't dot done. You should be dot done by now.
Oh, look at that. He misses a PB by like 5 seconds. Wow.
I don't see a dot done from Scotty.
And Pollsmor getting the low height Shine Spark as well.
I don't see a dot done from Scotty.
Scotty, dot done. There we go.
He missed the world record race because he didn't dot done in time. Scotty, please. And Pollsmor almost beat him because of that. Oh my god. Scotty, please, man.
That's so, yeah, so he misses PB by 5 seconds. That's going to be, if that's not a 106, then I will be genuinely surprised. But a 106 in a race, though, is fantastic.
To destination.
Scotty had the chance to get the race world record for Metroid Fusion 100%. And knocking Biospark's time off. Biospark had that time for a long time.
But can we talk about that? We're seeing history here. Pollsmor has beaten Eagle in a tournament race at last.
Eagle's winning streak for all GBA droids finally been broken here. That is amazing. That is amazing. And who else but Pollsmor to break that streak? Eagle has knocked Pollsmor off the grand finals for 3 tournaments in a row.
This is... I was expecting this race to be complete wild ride from start to finish, and is not disappointed. And JC here, still making very decent time. Certainly better than my time in my last race. Yeah, that's the takeaway here. JC is coming in 4th here, but he is not playing badly. He is still putting up a respectable time.
Definitely, yeah.
But unfortunately, he had the misfortune of being matched up against in a quad with Eagle and Pollsmor, and then Scotty, who is just, like we mentioned, just shocking everyone, especially me, with how well he's been playing and how much he's been improving. I have not seen some of the strats he's been using. They are just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate for JC to be matched up against Scotty, because Scotty, I think for at least 2 of the races he should have won, but he, died. So Scotty should have been higher up in the standings, and JC should have been playing someone else. But it is what it is. Scotty lost 3 times, JC lost 3 times, and now they're paired up.
Oh God! I just realized something. This means that Eagle is probably going to be my round 5 opponent. Scotty,
hello?
Holy cow, what was that run?
Pretty good.
You had me screaming into my mic no fewer than 4 times.
It was almost a 105, huh?
It was very close. My PB is about 5 seconds off of a 105, but this was about 4 seconds behind my PB, so it may or may not, depending on how good my text matching was.
Or how poorly your text match was.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you had slower text match, then you could save in-game time here versus the RTA. But if you had faster text match, then it would be off by,
Mm-hmm.
So there is a chance, guys, that we might see a 105 from Scotty. It all depends.
I'm a little doubtful of it.
I'm not. So shoot, between Zero Mission and now this, you're just blowing my mind every time I see you do a new race, man. I don't even know what to say. How do you figure out some of these strats you use that are unconventional? Like, what was that strat you used on Box 2? Where you pseudo screw into it? What was that?
I just figured out some. Excuse me. Figured out something and it happened to work.
It looked a lot faster than a traditional strat.
Yeah,
so
it did.
Maybe
it looked a lot.
Some of these runners a lot faster than the traditional kill.
I haven't actually timed it out, but it looks like it could be.
Yeah, so maybe some of these runners may adopt that. I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of numbers crunching in the chat, in the Discord soon. But good on you for keeping it a secret until race time.
I haven't kept that one a secret. I've been doing that in all the tournament races.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure you've mentioned it before too.
Have I?
Pretty sure.
Why did you tell me? I made myself look like an ass just being super excited about it.
It's always been a surprise to me. Like, maybe I have seen it before, but I'm still surprised that I've seen it again.
Wait, hang on a second. Are we going to get 3 106s here?
We probably are. Gee.
Scotty, Paul, and Eagle all with 106s. Wow.
What in the world is going on?
Oh, I just checked the RAM watch, Ross.
Uh-huh.
And it was a 106 flat.
Oh!
No! No!
Wow! And how many frames?
42.
Wow!
What?
So you're saying you could have had one more double missile on the ice
It
core?
was very
Crumble-
possible.
if
Oh my
you had
goodness.
a
The following
4
Crumble
shot.
City, I was. Oh
no,
my god.
never mind the Crumble City. If you had a 4-shot sax, you could have had that 105.
Or the low height for that matter, because you were like a pixel off from that low height. We thought you had it.
Man, that hurts. That really hurts.
So sorry, Scotty.
A 106 flat in-game time.
Oh my god.
42 frames. If he was 43 frames faster, he would have had a 105 in a race, which is unheard of. How do you feel though about not pressing .done when you were supposed to get that world record?
Live Split was supposed to do it for me. I have no blame there.
Yeah, I figured you were using the live split thing, so... And meanwhile, Pollsmor showing off how to do Nightmare Space Boost correctly. But... Oh, now we have Eagle in here.
Eagle. Oh man, that was a very tight race. You were ahead for like maybe a good portion of Sector 6 and beyond, but then that Crumble City.
That was terrible.
How do you feel about Crumble City?
It's something I usually don't fail, so that was disappointing. But honestly, like there was just so many mistakes throughout that run that should not have happened. So I can't really like pinpoint and say this cost me the race. A bunch of things cost me the race. I'm very, very surprised it's still a 106 because overall that was terrible. I have like a highlight of stupid mistakes I made throughout the run. There was that one puzzle room I had to reset, and that's probably a good 20-25 seconds or something like that.
Yeah,
that was awful. My finger slipped while doing the first missiles on Yakuza, so I ended up firing a couple missiles like diagonally at the beginning. So that cost me like a perfect Yakuza fight. That was awful. And then Crumble City and a bunch of other things that I've probably messed up. So like again, surprised it's a 106 because that was absolutely god awful.
But my finger slipped is usually my excuse. But I'll give that to you this time.
Like that doesn't usually happen. I'm not sure what the hell happened, but whatever. It's what's done is done. I get another chance at getting my revenge, I suppose.
Yeah.
But if I have to go up against Scotty instead because I got a lower seed, that might be unfortunate.
No, if Scotty will probably see third here, or no, because he's going to be 3-1.
I'm 2-2.
2-2. I'm sorry.
If the bye counts as a win.
Oh yeah, you might not even get third seed. I'm not sure how everyone else is faring. We'll see.
I don't think so.
You would have to hope that Scotty gets an odd numbered seed, I think, so that he gets stuck with Pollsmor in the upper bracket.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, that's a question. How on earth am I actually going to wind up qualifying for this when I have my time? I don't even have a PB under 2 hours. I'm real time. Like I'm seriously.
You're pretty good, Crunchy. You've beaten lots of. Lots of what you call it? Lots of. What's the word I'm looking for? Veterans? Yeah, I guess veterans.
Beaten is not the word I would use.
The legendary Mickey now, like that's already noteworthy.
And then you beat what you call him, Hook and JaySee too, right?
Yeah.
JaySee was moving. That didn't really do anything there.
Yeah, well,
I have a lot of practice to do, but no. Yeah, Eagle, I'm going to say though, you say you made a lot of mistakes, but just the fact that you still pulled the 106 just shows just how clean your movement is. Like that's something I kept emphasizing throughout. Just your movement is always just so good in both this and Zero Mission.
There was definitely some highlights during that race. Like my Sector 6 was just perfect. I don't think I made a single mistake in Sector 6, which is rare, to say the least. But it worked out. So I'm it is what it is. I'll get my revenge.
Oh yeah, your Sector 6 was perfect, and you actually pulled ahead in the room with the Crumble Block Power Bomb tank before the Crumble Block Power Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might.
I was like watching a little bit as I was racing, so I had an idea of like where I lost the lead and where I won the lead.
It was funny because while you were doing Crumble City, I was like, "Oh, Eagle's got this. He does Space Jump E-Tank all the time." And right mid-sentence, when I said Space Jump E-Tank, that's what you fell through, and I was like, "No."
It's because
It made me a
Fusion Space
liar.
Jump is god awful.
It is.
Worst
Yeah,
creation since the dawn of man.
it is a lot different from Zero Mission Space Jump and Super Metroid Space Jump in that it is slower, so the timing is kind of wonky. But I will say that Super Metroid has the worst space jump overall because of its limitations.
Yeah, for sure. Either way, it was a pretty bad mistake to make, and it's something I hopefully won't do in the future.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully you'll learn from your mistakes, and maybe you can get some practice time in. Do you have any free time?
No, I won't get any practice in. It's fine. I'll just play better. It's in the middle of the night, and I really want to go sleep now. So good games to Pollsmor. I'm gonna go sleep, and thank you guys for hosting all this. That was cool.
All right,
Thank you very much for stopping in, Eagle.
Yeah, thanks for a very exciting run.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to Pollsmor, who finally broke Eagle's win streak of any Metroid
tournament.
GBA Metroid tournament. Yeah, like this is the first time Eagle's lost in what Fusion any percent, ZM any percent, ZM 100%, and now finally getting that loss. And who better than Pollsmor, who lost to Eagle 3 times in a row. For a very exciting.
And it's also worth mentioning that Eagle and Zero Mission 100% had his internet fail on him twice, which cost him, like, I think over 10 minutes of time, and he still won that race.
That's amazing.
Metroid tournament, yeah. JC, so you're going to be down, what, 0-3 now? 0-4?
0-4.
Yeah, how do you feel about your chances in the tournament so far? Lost to Eagle 3 times in a row.
Feels amazing.
Why keep a stiff upper lip?
No,
stay
as most people know, I'm not really a big fan of 100% runs, anyways. I do it for the. Yeah. I tend to stick with 80% and low percent.
Yeah, I've always mentioned to the chat that you are, one of the pioneers of 0%.
Pioneers.
I have to say that word. It sounds good. And that 100% isn't really your forte, but
yeah. And then my SP decided to reset itself in the middle of the Yakuza fight.
Oh, so that's what happened. JC, please, that's my excuse.
I'm serious, like, Samus, move. SP, why are you doing this again? So I don't know if it's a cable of their SP or not. So
figure it out. It's check the battery contacts. That was the problem when it happened to me. Was that the contacts in the battery compartment were a little bit bent. So if you grip the SP hard enough, sometimes it loses contact briefly and resets.
Ooh, okay. Have to try that for later on.
Yeah, hopefully that works for you. In my case, I actually ended up having to just replace it because it kept coming back even after every time I fixed it. So hopefully it doesn't happen to you.
I mean, I don't think this battery's ever been changed, so wouldn't hurt to do it anyways.
You haven't received your buy yet, huh?
I think Herc thinks I'm going to get the buy next round, which is fine.
Yeah, because there's no one else at 0-4. Null Driver is 0-3, but I don't know if he's racing this week.
I think Null has the buy this week.
Hey, I think I just got an in-game PB. Awesome.
Oh, congrats.
Nice. Congrats, man.
So yeah, it looks like there's a very good chance that you might get the buy to bump you up to 1-4, and then that may have you set up versus Null Driver next match.
Next week should be the last week.
Yeah, it's only 5 rounds of Swiss.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be my last match for the tournament.
Okay. So if Null Driver loses his next match, then you will be tied with him for the 14th and 15th seed. Yeah. And one of you will face either Pollsmor or Eagle. So, well, maybe not because they're 15-player tournament. There will be a bye.
What's gonna happen is I think it's gonna turn into a 6-player bracket, 8-player bracket.
My understanding is it's 5 rounds of Swiss, at which point the top 8 seeds will all go into single elimination tournament.
I think that's what I said. And then there's gonna be, I think, the 1-in-4s or the 4-in-1s are going to do a playoff, or supposed to do a playoff for the final seat spots in this bracket. I have to look at the Swiss triangle again on that one. But yeah, so 1 more week, and then I need to figure out who is going to be affected by the play-ins, and hopefully get something coordinated with y'all.
All right. Looks like we don't have anything else after this race here on Speed Gaming 2. However,
No.
Speed Gaming 1 is playing that Zelda 2 randomizer. So if you're interested in more racing, just hop on over to Speed Gaming 1, which I'm pretty sure will be hosted here soon once we're off the commentary. But thanks everyone for enjoying this awesome race with me and Crunchy. It was definitely a very good race.
Oh God, was it ever?
Yeah.
And if you want some more Fusion, be sure to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we have 2 Fusion races for you on Speed Gaming 1. We have Scrubbusta versus Mandatobi and Mikino versus Monkey SMB.
Yep, definitely stop by and check it out. Scrubbusta is one of 3 world record holders for any percent, sporting the 45. So if he's any good at 100%, like he is in any percent, then he'll give anyone a run for their money. Definitely worth watching. But that is all that I have. Once again, stick around if you're interested in watching some Zelda 2 randomizer. It is on Speed Gaming 1. Other than that, that's all I have. Crunchy?
I got nothing else. Scotty, JC, you guys have anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next mission.